Hello, people on Spiritual Events Directory. Victoria Cochrane here. Wednesday, the 5th of December. I think that's right. I always have it wrong. Could be the 4th. And freezing over here. I hope you're a bit warmer where you are. And welcome to my normal Wednesday live, which is for everybody to just join in. I generally don't do readings for people. Sometimes I can fit it in. I generally just talk about stuff to do with spirituality and psychicness. Hi Janelle. And hopefully it helps people to tune in a bit more to their own spirituality and to know what's going on. Hi Kathy, lovely to see you. So today prepared. So I really would like to be guided by what you people would like me to talk about. Last week, Angie asked me to talk about the pendulum, so I did that. Yeah, so what's going on with you guys? What would you like me to talk about in terms of spiritual development, psychicness, awakening? Yes, it is a bit like that, Tracy. Freezing. Tracy's in Smithton, not far from me, so she's suffering the same weather that we are. Oh, Kathy can't see me. Okay, well, can anyone else see me? Because I can see me. Good morning, 24 here and air on. Trust all is well. Yes, it is. Good, thank you. Hello, Minty. Great to see you. Or is it Lou? Hello. Can other people see me? Because Kathy said she can't. Ah, I wish we could have a bit of warm weather. Yes, lovely on the Gold Coast. I'm jealous. So, where in the world are you, and where do you think you should be, and do you know your soul's purpose? And that was a question that was asked to me the other day by a client who said, I just don't know what my soul's purpose is. And the answer from the masters, thanks Janelle, the answer from the masters was really to complete your lessons this lifetime and to learn what unconditional love is. And I think sometimes we have a perception on the Gold Coast. Thank you guys, that's great. I love the Gold Coast, although I get really itchy hands up there, anywhere where it gets a bit humid, because I have a little bit of dermatitis on my hands. I end up really itchy. We went to Hawaii and I couldn't swim in the pool. I had to swim in the sea. Luckily, we were staying where there was both. Anyway, I digress. Yeah, I think we have this. Perception that our sole purpose is to do something mind-shatteringly brilliant on Earth, and quite often, it's just. And when I say just, it's still big. Is to learn to love yourself. We've spent lifetimes and lifetimes being told that we're not good enough, that punish us if we don't believe in religion, that we are lesser. We've spent lifetimes where we were locked up for different beliefs or for using herbs or whatever. We've had some terrible lifetimes, and in all of those lifetimes we've been persecuted or made to feel that we're not good enough. And so it's a big task to learn to love ourselves. It's easier if you've had a good lifetime this lifetime, where you have been loved and cherished and not abused or anything like that. But you see, I've had a good lifetime, but I spent my whole life still learning to love myself and to feel good enough. And I've got to say, I'm still working on it. I still pull the self-love cards. So frustrating. So it's always a work in progress. But if that's my sole purpose is to love myself, then that's pretty good. I mean, I have stepped into this. I figure that my sole purpose is to help people to awaken and to ascend. But I wouldn't have been able to do it if I hadn't have dropped a lot of my baggage around not being good enough. And so, hi Lee. So a soul purpose could be what you're doing in your job. I mean, if it usually involves service of some kind, and it comes from the heart, and it's just something that fills you up and that you love to do, and that actually helps other people. It's always a work in progress, Rosie, but we don't have to do it at a sacrifice of energy, because in the energy of the Creator, all is one. We're all one. It's the Creator of all that is, and everything's built on unconditional love. So the seventh plane is just essence of love and light. When we say we send love, we send light, we go to the light, we bring in the light. It's unconditional. There's no conditions on it. So we're certainly not going to be punished for not believing everyone is equal, one and the same. So therefore we're all connected. Everything that we do connects to others. From my sister, thank you. It has some little earrings that go with it, but I wear these ones because they're Salamanca market and I love them. Thank you for that, Terry. So Archangel Michael Blue, which is why I wear blue a lot, but then I do the purple nails. I think this one's a bit dark this time, but anyway, there's a lady up at the Rocky Cape Tavern. She checks my nails to make sure they're purple every time. I digress again, sorry. So we have our soul purpose, and we don't have to have it. We don't have to sacrifice our energy. We don't have to live in poverty or chastity or anything like that to be close to God. And a lot of my work is helping people to lift those vows and commitments of sacrificing their energy and having to give away their power to be close to God, or having to give away their senses. It's rubbish. It's nonsense. We don't need to do that. But we've come in with those things because we've been indoctrinated in many lifetimes to believe that. So if you're having trouble with your soul purpose, then perhaps we can do a session on that today, because last week we had the pendulum out, and we were looking for people's lost things and doing a little bit of healing, and someone said it had such a sense of community and everyone helping one another. So I'm kind of thinking that would be nice to do too. You know, if you're really feeling a bit lost, then hi Christine, then we can actually do a bit of a card reading. So then, says she, who hasn't got her cards organised, so there are lots of different cards that I could use for that. It would just depend on where the person's at, and perhaps we can talk about the way I use the cards and how I do it, and it always just comes out correctly. So Tracy, are you still there? Perhaps you could, is there a soul purpose question that you might have? Feel like I'm at a crossroad. There you go. Christine's got one. So I actually like to use these Earth Magic cards too, because they're about place. The other ones are Earth Power Oracle cards. These are fantastic. They're very strong. They give a real sense of where you are and where you need to be, and the kinds of attributes and values that you can bring through. So if you're at a crossroad, perhaps we could use these cards. And so just, so we're talking about soul purpose, and if you love your job even, but still feel like something's missing, then perhaps your soul is calling you to why you reincarnated. But as I was saying before, it possibly is just to finish learning your lessons, to actually learn to love yourself, to learn forgiveness, and none of those. But for your soul, they're very important. And so it's about listening and listening to your guides, and actually starting to take notice of what's coming up in your life that keeps slapping you in the face because you haven't learnt it yet. And that can be frustrating too. But that the masters will just keep whacking you around the head with it until you actually take notice and start to learn. Okay, so Tracy, perhaps you might like to pop up question 2, and Christine, and anybody else. Feel like I'm at a crossroad. So I just shuffle till I feel right, and I can't tell you what feeling right really feels like, but generally a single card will go on top. I've talked to you guys before about knowing who you're talking to. So I just have Archangel Michael with me all the time, tell with the colour that I wear. And I generally will ground and connect to the Creator and ask for an unconditional love reading for the person and remote view over the person, but I'm not going to do that today unless I really can't get an answer. I'll just, so for Christine, she feels like a crossroad. She's like at a crossroad. Sometimes I'll use 3 different decks of cards, and I'll just pull out one to 3 of each deck. It depends on what I'm really pushed to do. Okay, but by all means be patient when you're shuffling. So, Glastonbury Tour. So this is for Christine. And it might just feel like, well, there you are on top of the hill, and which way do I go? Magic flows through my life. I will heal. I have power, and it is real. Spiritual power takes time to develop, and I find the right teachers when I'm ready. Yes. Okay. Sure. Thank you. Okay. So I'm going to have to I will get down to other questions, but I'm just going to keep on with Christine. So, spiritual power takes time to develop, and I find the right teachers when I'm ready. All right. So, you've got to trust yourself with what you're feeling and what feels right. So if you have got a couple of choices, you've really got to feel into what they would be like if you were there or doing that in a year's time or in 5 years' time, and just trust your intuition on that. So you are able to make that decision, and you probably already know the answer, Christine, but it's just about trusting yourself and feeling it in your heart rather than thinking in your mind. And this one's Earth Magic. So it's about taking a step back and just being for a little while and getting out in nature, and the answer will come to you. Everything happens for a reason, and if a door's closing, then that means another one's going to be opening. And so it's just about going with the punches, and transition can be messy. You know, people can leave, or there can be arguments, but whatever's happening is meant to be happening. And so I'm going to choose, as I said, I choose different decks that might give the answer. And this is for Christine, and hopefully this is helpful. So we're just talking about soul purpose and whether we really feel lost and where we're going. For some people, they know exactly what they're doing, and for me, you know, I've stepped into mine. Okay, well, Christine, everything's going to be fine. It's just like it's guided. So you've really just got to settle your emotions, sit in your heart space, and just know and trust your intuition, and it's all going to be fine. But get out and ground, and be in nature, and take a step back from it, and it'll just come to you. You'll know, and you'll be drawn to it. So I hope that helps. Tracy says that things have changed since she came to see me last. Tracy, if you're still, you know, even though things are busy, we can make a time. You know, I'm pretty flexible. What direction do I go? Is it work related? I'm wondering. Hi, Roz. Okay, so I need to break my energy from Christine, so I do a break. And then focus in on Tracy and just ask for an unconditional love reading for her to answer her question. So I know what Tracy looks like, but if I don't know what you look like, then I still hold you in intention, and it will always come out specifically for you. So it's about really concentrating when you're shuffling the cards, because if you start talking about yourself or whatever, it'll come out about whatever you've been thinking about or talking about. So you really need to focus on the person or the question until you feel it's right to deal. So this one, oh, this is beautiful. Okay, so this is the Ganges, and can you see that beautiful yellow lotus flower? So that's solar plexus to me. To actually, Tracy, you worry about what other people think about it all the time. You need to now consider what's right for you. I forgive and do not fear. I accept where I am at this moment, and thus I can flow and grow from here. So things might be changing, but it seems like just go with the flow and stay where you are for the minute, and things will change around you. But as long as you're holding strong, the changes are probably for the better. You know, there's completion for some people, but if for you it's just holding that space. So I think that you just hang in there for a while. Okay, can people just tell me if I'm fuzzy or anything, because I just got a message that it's a poor connection, so I'm hoping I'm not fuzzy. Annette Hemsley, hi, will the father of my last son be part of his life? Okay. Yeah, Prima, a lot of people are transforming and just finding that they're thinking differently. Do you know, like... I'd been to the doctor and I had a bit of an infection, so I was taking my second lot of antibiotics, and I just started them. And then I went to a fair, and someone gave me reindeer food, and it had lollies in it. I had the worst reaction to it, like an allergic reaction, where my whole mouth went itchy, and I thought it was the antibiotic, but it wasn't. It was the lollies, and so I obviously just can't eat that stuff anymore. And I never used to get an allergic reaction to foods like that. So yeah, we're changing, we're evolving. Our bodies, as we raise our vibrations, we can't eat that low vibrational food, or if we do, we know about it. So, and if we do, then we need to ask that it be raised, use Reiki on it, or, you know, just suffer the consequences, I guess. But yeah, I really noticed that, and I had never had a reaction like that to pink lollies, and so obviously whatever they put in that is not good for children either. Let me just see. Hanging in. Thank you. I will be in touch. Great. I'm unsure. Hold on. Tracy said I've opened up her spiritual world. That's beautiful. Going with the flow. I think that's good. Okay, I'll get back to you, Rosie. Okay, I really enjoy doing this kind of thing, and I'm feeling comfortable doing this, so I'll be doing this a bit more, because I feel that it helps everybody. As long as it helps everybody, you know, talking about soul purpose and just pulling cards and explaining how I do it, I'm hoping that's helpful for everybody. So, Annette, now I haven't been concentrating, so I need to do that. Okay. Focusing on Annette's question. Quite often the cards jump out. They do that a lot for me these days. Yes, I believe so. I believe so. That's the answer, isn't it? It fell out. The second one was Goddess of the Moon, and so it's just holding that intention and trusting your intuition. And let's just choose the last one. Base chakra, so grounding into being a father. So I think that's a pretty clear answer for you, Annette. So never discount anything. If a card jumps out or half the deck falls out, use that part of the deck, or if you just can't pull that card, or if something happens and it just won't happen, it's not meant to be, I never discount anything that happens. Hello, Angie. Yes, Wendy, you can have a card. Hopefully. So we'll ask about your soul's purpose and direction for next year. And so I'm just going to break my energy and concentrate. So the other thing I do is I knock white light, or I visualize white light in and blow old energy out of the cards. Might be a bit superstitious, but I kind of feel that I clear them a bit better if I do that. Wendy, can I please have a card asking about a message for Wendy's highest and best. So if you're a reader and they don't actually have a question, you've no idea how many people come along and say, I have no idea why I'm here. So then you just ask for a reading for the person's highest and best, and whatever's meant to come out will come out. Okay, so Wendy, I'm wondering if you're having money issues and you're a bit worried about money. The thing with that is, whatever we give energy to, we attract. It's the law of attraction. So the universe will always provide for us as long as we're open to it and we're very specific in what we ask for, that we give gratitude for what we have. So even though there's a tiny little bit of money in the cupboard, be grateful for that. Brush the cobwebs off your thoughts and start to be more positive, and you'll be surprised that how things will improve. So you do seem to be pretty worried about things. So daughter value, it's about valuing what you have, giving thanks for what you have, and opening up your thinking to one of lack to one of abundance. And chances are a lot of us do have programs or beliefs that we don't deserve to be abundant, that we actually will always be in lack. And so that's what we expect, and that's what we attract. So a bit of healing on that, Wendy, would be really useful, because it's like, is this a glass 3/4 empty, or a quarter empty or 3/4 full? Like, to me, it's full. And so it's just about watching your thoughts and what you're putting out to the universe, and the things that you're saying. And it sounds simplistic, not to discount your situation and how you're feeling, but there's always more answers, and there's always different ways of doing things, and it's just about being open to the possibilities. So I'm just going to choose you another couple of cards just to give a bit of clarity on what might be happening. Yeah, and that's what I was talking about. It's just the things that you say and the way we think, we kind of talk ourselves. So if you say, I never have any money, then you never will. Because your ego says, okay, no worries, and the universe says, okay, that's what you want, I'll give that to you. Won't give you any money. So just be very careful about how you talk about money. And crikeys. Don't be afraid. Ask the angelic community, ask friends, not necessarily for money, but just ask for help and share your problems. And this one is 5th chakra. So this is also communication and actually letting people know. I'm in a Lions Club. If you're really having trouble, you know, we give out Christmas hampers, but we would help with medical bills or anything like that. So don't be afraid to approach charitable organisations or service organisations. And just think with your heart, not your mind, and don't make yourself sick with worry. But I hope that helps. But just try to believe more that things can get better and that you're not stuck, because we believe ourselves stuck, if you know what I mean, and we can believe ourselves free. Okay, Janelle. So, excuse me. Just got my amethyst pendulum today. Which cards are best for Janelle Page, please? Nope. No, I didn't think so. The Earth Magic cards. So, if a client's in front of me, I'll get them to choose which deck they would like. But you're not here, so I use the pendulum. Okay, so. Scrolling down a bit. I hope that made sense, Wendy. But yeah, no idea. Our mind is so powerful, and we are powerful co-creators, and we can manifest whatever we want, but we just have to believe that we can. Okay, Janelle, and then Rosie. I'm just working my way down, so I'm hoping that this is helpful and that I can get to everybody. Here we go, Janelle. Sometimes I spread. I will ask, do I shuffle or spread? I'm getting not spread. So you'd think they give me in the positive, but sometimes I quite often get not that. Okay, that's fine. Now, Janelle. And until it feels right. So this one is just trust your instinct, and there's a wolf there. Wolves are very cunning, very knowing, but have amazing senses and instincts. But do you know, Janelle, whatever's going on, you've got so much strength behind you and so much growth already happening that you've just got to really trust that you're on the right path. So whatever you're being drawn to do is the right one. You know, you've just got to trust that. But because it's on the snow, then there's so much more potential, so much more growth to go yet. So whatever you really enjoy, whatever you feel pulled to learning about spiritually, go with that. Whatever clair you have that's developing, so if you feel really strongly or if you can see a bit, just work on those and practice. And the more you do that, the more other ones come in. So you're on the right path, but you're doubting a little bit, and you just need to trust. Ask your guides for help and go for it. That's what I would read into that. Rosie says, feeling a little lost, studying floristry, and I love it. Will I be in that industry? Well, if you love it, then I suppose you're worried about, you know, will you earn enough money and all of that. Again, if you really love it, you make it happen, despite all the obstacles and everything in the way, like I did. I just retired from teaching and made this happen. And a lot of opportunities have come up since then, so I feel very blessed and very grateful. So let me ask the cards. Sorry, I don't know which ones to use, so I'm going to ask. No. Yes. No. The daily guidance cards from the angels. I just had a feeling that I needed to get another deck out. So again, I trusted that and just checked. Okay. So studying floristry, and I love it. And the thing about floristry is that, yes, it's a job, but it also brings a lot of joy to a lot of people, doesn't it? And so within that, your sole purpose might be to learn to interact with people more, to learn not to judge people. Goodness knows. So when you're doing any job, just if it doesn't feel like it's the sole purpose, are you meant to be doing that job and learning, or kind of coming into your sole purpose through that job? You know, quite often it's a stepping stone, or you're finishing your lessons within that. So this is changing direction. It's got lovely stalk picture of children and things, but I wouldn't, it's like, oh, delivered it to the wrong address or something. It's a bit funny. The changes you're experiencing are divinely directed by your newborn willingness to open your heart to love and our guidance. You are protected now and in the future, so follow your path to the happy outcomes you desire. I would say that's a yes. Yes. So, and it's changes. It's a different field for you, obviously. So if you're feeling lost, though, you need to really tune into what it is that's missing. And perhaps it's connection. Perhaps it's connection to the Creator, and that's got nothing to do with religion. It's about connecting to our own divinity and connecting to the light within us and trusting that we're here for a purpose. And if you're having trouble with that, Rosie, then perhaps you need to do some meditation, call in your guides, call in the Creator to help you, give you signs, that kind of thing. Tassie. Hi, Tassie. I'm unsure of my soul purpose. Everything has changed in the last few weeks, but in a very negative way. I'm lost trying to understand why. Yeah, and you know, quite often just all these things bang, 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 and they happen, and it's just, you know, really hard. But it sounds to me like you're in transition, or things are ending, so new beginnings can happen. And going with the flow of that is really hard, and it can shake our confidence that we're on the right path and doing the right thing. So I think these cards might be really helpful for you. And there is a card in here called Blessing in Disguise. I'm wondering if that one will come up. But yeah, and like Tracy, sometimes you just have to hang in there. But don't forget to ask for help. Don't forget to try and see the good things, even if the good thing is that you can get to bed every night, or that you can get food on the table, or whatever it is, that you can find something to be grateful for. Because when you're focusing on negatives, it can really just perpetuate that. And so, but it sounds to me like a lot of things are ending, and that's a good thing. Not now, maybe, but in the long run. I just card flew out. Okay, energy work. So I'm going to choose 3. Life can be electrifying because its very essence is energy. Your body is a remarkable energy field that will positively respond to loving treatments. So it does sound like you're out of balance, Tassie, and that you've got yourself into a negative state as well. So if you can get to a Reiki healer or some kind of energy worker, that would be helpful. Excuse me. And try not to worry too much. Play is just take a step back, and because the more you worry, the more energy you give it, and it just perpetuates. And joy, but that's really not that helpful as to why. So okay, well, there you go. There's nothing to worry about. This situation is under perfect control. So it just sounds to me, you know, I said transition's messy and a lot of negative things have happened, but things are shifting and changing, and that can be really upsetting. But just if you can start to see any positives in that, that would be helpful. Only infuse loving thoughts and emotions into the situation to ensure that the highest possible outcome flows effortlessly to and through you. But it's really hard to do that when you're feeling really low energy, your chakras are all out of balance, and you've got a lot of negative energy from other people on you, you're exhausted. So I would really recommend, Tassie, that you get some healing soon, and that will help you to kind of adjust your perception. But let me just channel an answer for you. Well, Jesus is there, and Jesus is the bridge from our higher self to the love of the Creator, but also to help us to love ourselves. And he says there is nothing to worry about, but the negativity comes from ego on other people's behalf, and tall poppy syndrome. So, you know, jealousy is a nasty thing, but if people are leaving your life, hopefully not dying, but actually just moving out of your life, there's probably good reason for that. And so just get some healing, get some rest, eat good food, and surround yourself with people who are your friends and loving, and the reasons why will present themselves soon. So I hope that helps. Hi Kim, great to see you. Annette, you're welcome. Okay, so I'm working my way down the list. Lots of fun. Yeah, and I've got to say that when lots of bad things happen, we are perhaps in transition, and if we've been doing some spiritual work, if we've been meditating, if we've become more aware of ourselves in spirit, and we've started to raise our vibrations, then people don't like that. People with lower vibrations do not like that. It's like, who are you and what have you done with my friend? You know, like, I don't get you anymore. Or they see that you're happy or that you've got a new job or something, and they don't feel adequate, and then of course that the ego comes out. And so, but you know, if you can imagine, if you've both been here but all of a sudden you're here, then this person is like trying to drag you down, okay, with what are you doing that for? But you've got to hold your space, because the person will either come up to meet you, or eventually you'll be that far apart that they'll just go. And that's their decision. And it's a bit sad, but you know, quite often it's family too, which makes it harder. But you know, if you've really worked hard and your vibrations have really risen a lot, then why should you stoop down and you know, go back to that? You can't do that. So it's possibly what's happening there with Tassie, and hopefully that works itself out sooner rather than later. But keeping your vibrations high and actually not allowing it to drag you down can be hard if you're really exhausted and drained by the people that are trying to drag you down. So best to break ties and just not interact with them at all, and recognise that it's their stuff and don't take it on. Okay, Kim. So I've got these in my hot little hand for a reading. Remember, we asked for an unconditional love reading for Kim's highest and best. Gary, lovely to see you. Just had a coffee with Gary yesterday. Gary and I are working on another light source meditation. Not a DVD this time. We're still working out how we'll do that, but it's going to be amazing. So lots of fun. Okay, back to Kim. I'm going to spread this time. Sometimes, you know, if Kim were here, I'd ask her to choose. So I'm asking to be a proxy for her. I'm feeling this one. Joy. Joy is the highest energy of all. It's the magical sense that everything is possible. Joy springs from appreciating the gifts within each moment. Joy allows you to attract and create your present and future moments at their highest possible levels. So can you see this? Kim was going to call you Joy. That would be a bit rude, sorry. But this is rising above the denser emotions. So water is emotion, and actually, you know, the sea looks pretty calm. But this is finding ways to lift yourself up and out of all the emotion of a situation. Something going on that's really emotional, how can you look at it from a higher perspective, from a more objective perspective, and see the whole picture and the bigger picture, not just being immersed in it, because when you're immersed in it, you can't see anything, you know. So this is like rising above it just for a while, taking yourself out of it and just taking all the emotion out of the situation and just seeing things as an objective person might. And then everything will become clear. Yeah, so I hope that helps. And Natasha, okie doke, Natasha would like a card, so I'm going to check to see which cards I should be using. I'll get out the Divine Feminine Oracle too. I'm starting to get, you can see I'm a cardaholic. I do love my cards. Now I've lost my pendulum. What do I do with that? Okay. Oh, there it is. Okay. Just see what messages are down here. Janelle said totally makes sense. Rosie said yes, it made sense. She does feel protected. Oh, oops, sorry, you don't want to see my blinds. Oops. Apologies. I cannot find my... Okay, Kristen, I'm coming back to you. Jodie. Yep, so Kim, I have done your card. All right, so Natasha. Just keep these ones for Natasha. Would love to know if I will be employed by January. Don't think I want to use those. Here we go. So using the Earth Energy cards here for Natasha. Doesn't really tell me anything. I wonder whether it'll be in a family business or something, whether you'll actually, maybe not your family, but a family business of some kind, and that it'll be, in a job that you actually are really good at. But yeah, I think so. So we look at where we are. It might be February, January, February. But I think that's a good indication. So that's exciting. Victoria, a reading for your highest and best, please. So drop me a line too to let me know if this is helpful for you, because I know I am doing readings for individuals, but hopefully I'm teaching you all something along the way, and that's my aim, is to show you how I would do individual readings for people, and using different tools and different ways of doing it. I'm a bit of a tools person. I'll pick and choose different things. I'll channel if I have to. I'll do all sorts of things to make it right for that person. So I'm not just a one tool person, if you know what I mean. Okay. So asking for an unconditional love reading for Victoria Brown's highest and best. I think you need a break. Victoria, rest and rejuvenation. Taking a bit of a break. You must be pretty busy. But also when we're still, we get messages better. We actually can connect to our higher self or to our guides and start to feel and know the answer rather than to think. So it is about taking time to just sit. It's actually okay to do that. And to meditate if you want to, but just to still your mind and take a break from everything, and delegate if you really have to, if you're a busy mother or whatever. It's just about, allowing yourself to sit in the stillness and divinity of you, and then allowing your guides to connect to you. So pretty important. Okay. All right, where are we? PK. Yes. May. I'm going to choose 3 because the first one needs a bit of clarity. Okay, well, it seems that you've got daughter value here. So whether you're giving yourself enough and not thinking that you're good enough, if you're a practitioner, then maybe not charging enough. But there's certainly a lot more that you can do to build your business or to build your self-worth, whichever it means. But there's a lot of, you've got a lot of monkeys in the head stuff going on there around what people think of you and how to present yourself. And if you've got if you seem to be working through difficulty after difficulty, you need to really work on your self-worth, I would say, PK. People come and people go, but really it's about having a relationship with yourself and valuing yourself more. That's what I would read from there. Emily, I'd love a card. So I'm just checking the cards. And these cards came out, Earth Energy cards came out for Emily. And then I'll ask about Jodie's health. Emily. So asking for your highest and best, for your soul purpose, or for some direction for this year, Emily, and next year, or going into next year. And do you notice how I read the imagery? I sometimes get the book out, but I really read the imagery, and I take notice. The imagery will tell me something different for each person. So if you're just starting with cards, by all means look at the book, but try to read the imagery and get a bit more out of it. Like with Joy, the dolphin lifting the person up out of the water, that's how I read, rise above a situation. So really looking at imagery in cards is the way I get a much deeper, more meaningful reading, mostly. I mean, we all have our failures, but generally I get a good reading doing that. Emily. Magnetic North Pole. I am flexible but consistent. I am magnetic. I know my purpose, my own true north. So if you do know your soul purpose, just continue on. If you're not sure, then this is telling you that you do know, and to trust that, and just to continue on that path. The path is straight. There's no deviations. So this is for Emily. Keep going, because you're doing a good job. And again, with the snow, you're adaptable, you're flexible, you can go with the flow. And sometimes, even if it's straight, there might be ups and downs, but you're on the right path, so don't ever doubt that. Right, Jody, about your health. Right, if it's about health, I'm actually going to get out these cards, which is Leanne Peters' energy, healing energy cards. And yes, health can really, really interfere with, jeepers. Okay. Sorry, my mum says that. It's a very daggy saying, but anyway. At least it's not rude, so that's okay. All right, so these ones fell out, so I'm going to choose from here for Jody. This one wants to come out. All right, so this is about observation, and you can see this tree doesn't have leaves on it at the moment, so it's like you're going through a bit of a hiatus or some kind of change or end of a cycle where it's time to review things, a bit of a life review. So to me, it's not going to end in, it's not life-threatening exactly, but it is significant enough to make you change some decisions and to take some notice of what's going on in your life and to make the changes that you need to do. Stretching into new territory, stepping out of your comfort zone, rebirth, connections, perceptions. What do you see happening in your life right now? And then just letting go of what you need to let go of, and not sweating the small stuff, and really just focusing on positivity, on just bringing in as much healing as you can. Again, self-acceptance. So look, I know I've talked about this before, but the emotional body really blocks us up. And if you've got self-love issues, self-worth issues, if you have had some trauma in the past that's held in your body, it can really affect us physically. So looking at that, assistance with weight loss, emotional baggage, blocked creativity and stagnant sexual energy. So all of these are possibilities of what the card might mean. Maybe not all of them. True acceptance of self, stomach area healing. All right, so if it is in the stomach and around there, then we do hold self-worth issues down there in our sacral and solar plexus chakra, and possibly feeling fairly disempowered. So there's work to be done there. If I can help you with that in any way, Jody, please get in contact with me. I'll put my details I'll tell you all my details at the end. And this one tells me that perhaps it's also about releasing, letting go, and moving further into your own spiritual journey and starting to accept change. Journey forward, life's path, destiny, perfect timing. Don't give up, take action, truth, wisdom, moving. So I'm pretty sure you're going to move through this issue with your health, but changing cards just to for a bit more clarity. Again, be patient. No need to rush, because we want the highest and best one. Okay, so this is the Law of Attraction card. So there's a lot of emotional stuff going on that's affecting you physically. So be very careful of how you're thinking, and you do need a clearing. Chakra clearing, balance, all sorts. So if you have a practitioner close to you to do that, do that. I can do it remotely, whatever works for you, but you definitely do need some, just some reflection on what's been going on that is stressful, emotional, and is actually affecting you physically. Okay, now I'm going down to Kristen, who said that she can't find her purpose year 2. Do you know when the bad will end? Please help. Okay, so this time I'll just tune in and remote view my energy over Kristen. I'm still grounding, connecting to Creator, so that's why it takes me a little bit longer. Making sure that I'm in the unconditional love and the highest energy. I can see you've got a lot of heavy energy on you and quite a tunnel down to the past. Again, I would be getting out of the forest for a little while so you can see the trees, to actually, hi Karen, to actually just get out of your head, have a bit of a clearing and a healing, and do some nice things for yourself, as much as you can afford, walking on the beach, doing things like that. And let me just ask what might be going on metaphysically. Yeah, so definitely need to get yourself into balance, Kristen, and to start to maybe connect, to actually talk to the Creator, pray, bring your guides in, ask Archangel Michael to help to balance you and to cut ties and all of that. Start to actually look at things from a higher point of view is a very good thing to do. And have the self-confrontation is about what is it that, how you may be contributing to it through your thoughts and actions. And that's not a criticism, it's just we do need to always look at what are we doing, what are we putting out, how are people perceiving us, and what can we do to change that, to change our situation, because we're co-creators. We manifest everything in our lives. We create our own reality through the thoughts that we think and the way that we act and the way that we react and interact with people. So we can only change ourselves, Kristen. We can't change other people. So looking at what you can do to make sure that you're in integrity and making steps to raise your vibrations and to make yourself healthy and to be seeing things from a higher point of view is what you can do. other people just need to work on themselves, and you can't make them either, but you can certainly do everything in your power to make sure that you're not contributing to situations like that. And this is male support, so you are supported. Inner father protecting the inner child, protection, camouflage, family connections. Balancing out the masculine and feminine is really important. Making sure that there's an equal exchange of energy in your relationship. Making sure that you feel empowered. And if not, taking steps to protect yourself from disempowerment is really important. Okay, so animal the bad end. Okay, we're at 1 o'clock, but I'm going to go for just a little bit longer. But if I've missed you, then I'll be back on again next Wednesday. I am in Northwest Tasmania, but I can be contacted through my page, Reaching Out Spiritual News with Victoria Cochrane. I also have a website, victoriacochrane.com, and I am available for video calls and phone readings, so if you think I can help you, I would love to do that. So here we are, Kristen. Ring the bad end. So this is it's like a wish card. The 9 is just like coming towards completion of a cycle, and actually just, holding the space and being in as much light as possible. See how it's on the edge of a cliff and you feel like you're going to fall off, but actually you're really guided. And if you could just make that connection and get out of your head and start to just see the blessings, and to actually listen to the signs, see the signs, and listen to all the guidance around you, and then starting to change your thoughts to bring in the positive is really important. I feel that there is a kind of a bit of a controlling person around you that is draining your energy. So you need to look at what the lesson is for you and how you might be able to change things. It's all about, do you value yourself enough to actually do what's right for you? So things can change, but you have to make the decision for them to change, and you actually have to start to think and believe that they can change. But I wish you all the best, Kristen, I really do. Okay, so I'm going to do one more. Oh, Karen is beautiful. Miss V, if you just do a general, I would be blessed. To everyone who is on, you have to book Miss V for a one-on-one reading. She's unbelievably good and so calm and so spot on. She's helped me a few times and I'm in awe of her talents. Oh my goodness, Karen, that's beautiful. Do you mind if I use that as a testimonial on my website? I'd be very grateful. That is just gorgeous. So that does deserve a card, doesn't it? I promise I didn't ask her to write that. Okay, so actually I'm going to do the really powerful cards because I know what Karen's question is, because we've just worked together a week or so ago. Earth Power Oracle. Just focusing on Karen, asking if I should deal or spread. Not deal, so I'm spreading. Okay. Svalbard. Both darkness and light are necessary. There is light even in the darkest of nights. I accept that I am part of the cycle of nature. I open myself to new wonders every day. So there's lots of shifting and changing, Karen, but it's all coming in the way it's meant to. Divine timing can be really frustrating, But, if we go against that, then we're just banging ourselves up against a wall. Someone said to me once, you're trying to bash the door down when the whole wall's going to open up for you. And I went, yeah, that's true. So the wall is starting to open up for me now. So, and the timing, it's been a good 2 or 3 years, but it's just believing and trusting and keeping on going. So, okay. Victoria, I think you did miss your reading. Yes, you did. And I actually can't remember what it was. And it says how much for a reading from me. Well, it's $60 for half an hour or $99 for an hour. So that's what I charge. So, and you can pay into my account or PayPal, which is fine. And I just take appointments and fit it in everywhere. I'm a lot more flexible now because I'm not working. So, yeah, just please message me if you would like a reading. Victoria, you did miss your reading. If anyone can remember what I said for Victoria, that would be really, really great. PK says, thank you so much. Been working on my self-worth. Great. So keep on doing that. Jody, thanks for that reading. I'm going from teaching into doing readings and healings. I've had Reiki healings, but possibly from the wrong healer. Your reading made so much sense. I love the way you read, much the same as I do too. That's fantastic. Thanks so much. Yeah, I went from teaching into this. Best thing I ever did. Just had to make that decision. It is the most awesome card. Fantastic. Michelle, I think I did miss you, but yeah, go back over it. That's the. Why didn't I think of that, Victoria? Yeah, this will be up on the Spiritual Events Directory site. So, good idea. All right, last one, Michelle. Yes, you've been missed, but not any longer. And then I'd like to do one for Gary because he's actually sent me a message to say he's enjoying this. So, so Michelle, I've got the Healing Energy card, so I'm trusting that that's right. Yeah, that's right, Karen. Yep, that's right. We've just decided that that's a good idea. Obviously, it must be lunchtime or something. I must need a bit of a break. But I haven't found this draining today, guys. Okay, sure. Because I'm getting that exchange of energy from you, and I love a bit of feedback when I'm reading this. I find it really difficult to read for people who don't give me any feedback through reading, and then I really doubt myself, So I've really enjoyed this today. So I was just doing, I've got Michelle. Ancestral inspiration. Let go of the old and move into the new. Healing through cellular levels, bloodline. Meditation and ancient knowledge remembered. Wheel of life, birth, transition, endings. We tend to recreate the cycle that our ancestors, of their beliefs and their behaviours and traditions and things. But there's some of those don't suit you, and so it's about expanding, letting go of the old and bringing in new ideas. And some people are resistant to that, particularly older people. But it's about honouring what's gone before, but then bringing in change. And a lot of people don't like change, but the only constant in life is change. So it's about bringing in that new inspiration, asking Archangel Michael perhaps to cut ties and to lift the veil of illusion so that it's more accepted whatever's going on. Birth, transition, ending. So yeah, you've got to, things got to end so new things come in. So just it will be fine. Just trust your instincts. Okay. For Gary, Earth Power card. I'm going way over time, but that's okay. Gary and I are working on a project together, and it's going really well. Amazonia, the Amazon. I am interconnected with the world in an intimate way. I am vital. I can find a way to co-create rather than confront. So it's just beginning, Gary, really, but Gary's in touch with, a lot of stuff. It's too hard to explain now, but the strength in this card, and it's just like everything's uncoiling, but it's just beginning. So that's pretty exciting. And the last one for the Lady Water. Oh, Jodie said she finds listening to everyone's cards give us all a message too. I love that. That's great. Kim, you can feel your beautiful energy. It is so calming and peaceful. Even your voice is calming and soothing. Thank you. Angie says, hi, Gary. Oh, pleasure. All right, so the right card for your daughter might be this one, Kim. So just to give myself a plug, I do have 3 books out, and a couple, a Light Source DVD with Gary, and Gary's got another one out that are for meditation. But I'm working on a 4th book, and I'm going to put there's a meditation with each chapter, and I do hope to record them all, because I have been told many times that my voice is soothing, and I'm really grateful for that it does help people. So these are my books that I can send them to you, or you can get them online, and these are $10 each, and they're about ascension and the light body, and this one is about other worlds. And so just drop me an inbox or a line. You can find me, as I said, on my Reaching Out Spiritual News with Victoria Cochrane page, or on my website, victoriacochrane.com. And if you would like them, the messages from other worlds is $14, and then I just charge $5 postage. If you want 3 of them, I break it down to $30 for the whole 3, and it's $8 postage I've worked out. So just let me know if you would like them, or you can find them online. Okay, this is for Kim's daughter. She is in her own world and very selfish at the moment, and the whole world kind of revolves around her. So that's really frustrating. But can you see that there's a lot of light shining, and I feel that she's got a lot of insecurities and perhaps a lot of worries, or is just trying to make herself out better than what she is, because she doesn't feel that way. So also she's got some learning to do. She's still got some lessons. So trying to be patient and trying to keep yourself as grounded, Kim, and as connected as possible, and asking Archangel Michael to help you with her behaviour would be a really good thing to do. And you can work through her hostilities. The way you do that is really important, and you might need to get some help from a psychologist or someone. And the last one is just love her. Don't forget to tell her that you love her, and really build relationships. As a teacher, everything is relationships, 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 and the closer you are to her, the easier it will be. So I wish you all the best with that. Guys, I have to go. Love you all to bits, and thank you so much for your kind connections today. And don't forget to look me up. If you Google Victoria Cochrane, I pop up everywhere. And love to you all, and I'll see you same time next week. Bye for now.